Hey, hey, Taurus, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your September 2025 love and family reading. All right, Taurus, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what September has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have the ship. This always reminds me of the Six of Swords. So some of you could be cutting ties, moving on from a situation here. This could be between you and a family member, perhaps you and a loved one, a partnership here between you and another. You have received what you've needed in a situation, and I see that you are progressing. You have progressed where there may be someone around you that is not at the same level, not at the same wavelength. Bottom of the deck, yeah, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. There may even be an invitation, or there has already been an invitation to connect, to match energies, but it doesn't feel like someone was ready. And I feel like you are saying to yourself, I deserve a higher level of love. I deserve to feel balanced, to feel on the same page with someone. So we have here ascension showing up as one of your key themes. This is about you learning from the past. You are expanding your energy field here, and you may be opening up to new connections at this time. If you are currently partnered, I feel like you are wanting to renew that spark in some way. You may want to explore new hobbies. You may want to get out there into the world. You have transcended, and I feel like a lot of you, I am getting a singular energy here for many of you, but it doesn't mean that you can't be in a relationship. Sometimes we can be in a partnership, but we feel very isolated. We can feel very emotionally separated from our partner, and that may be how some of you are feeling at this time. You may be preparing for union. A lot of you are entering into the next phase here of a relationship dynamic. You may even be preparing to meet a family member, see them. Maybe you haven't for quite some time, but you are entering into this new phase, and hot air balloons could be a sign for you. Perhaps there is a hot air balloon festival in your city. This could also represent, taking things to a higher level, seeing things from a higher perspective. Some of you may even have children, and I feel like you could be growing and learning from your children as they are growing and learning from you. These could be adult children for some of you, and you may be entering a new phase in your relationship with them. So you have the butterfly coming through here. The butterfly represents evolution and transformation. You've done a lot of growing here. So we're getting a couple of similar energies here of next phase. It even says that here in both cards. We have new phase and next phase showing up because you have been doing a lot of inner child work. And because the children is showing up, some of you may work with or connect with children, or a relationship between you and a child is shifting, as I've mentioned. This is about growing and releasing the past. That's what the ship is all about here. It doesn't mean that you're releasing a person per se, although some of you could be. I feel like this is about taking the lessons that you've learned and integrating them into your current scenario and shifting that energy into wisdom. You don't have to repeat a pattern here. That could be what you are cutting ties from. Some of you may even be traveling or relocating. You may meet someone or be connected to someone that lives at a distance. I do see that there could even be connecting with someone that may live in a different state, or they live in a different town. It feels like there's a long distance energy coming through here with that hot air balloon. But I feel like many of you are ready to put yourself out there, get back out there when it comes to dating, when it comes to meeting new people and connecting with others. This is about dating online for some of you. You may be opening up that option, or there may even be a message or some form of communication showing up through social media or through text. I see that you could have a specific day that is significant or holds significance in the month of September. This could be an anniversary. It could even be someone's birthday. There may be celebrations here. You may be getting together with family and celebrating this. So there's an important date. This could be your first date here, or it could be meeting and getting together with a friend whom you haven't seen for quite some time. So there's a lot of change happening here for you in the month of September. And let's dive in and take a look at the heartbeat. Where are you currently at emotionally in matters of love, connection, and belonging? Taurus, you have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is emotionally ready to open up to love. The Page of Cups is playful. There's vulnerability that is required here. This can be young love. It can also be the beginning stages of a new relationship, but it's also about wanting to play, wanting to connect again, where you feel that spark. For those of you that may be in a dynamic, but for many of you, as I've mentioned, this feels fresh. It feels new. It feels like you are moving into a new emotional experience. And this is an experience that maybe you haven't had before. It feels like there's this newness that wasn't part of your, I don't want to say wasn't part of the last relationship, but because you've done the healing, because you've been working on your inner child and your shadows, it feels like there is a new way about moving forward in matters of the heart. It feels more mature, but at the same time, it feels playful. So there is this freshness that is being brought to the mix this time around, where you're not carrying the heaviness of some sort of pain or hurt that you may have endured in the past. So I feel like your heart is open. Now, you don't want to be too open to, let's say, naivety, because sometimes the Page of Cups can wear their heart on their sleeve and then they can miss the signs. So sometimes when we fall too quickly, when we get to the other side of that fall, we realize, like, where am I? What am I doing? Do I really know this person? Is this the type of love that I want? And so I feel like you are opening yourself up to the curiosity, but there's that level of maturity that goes with it. So I don't feel like you are naive to love here. I feel like you're playful. I feel like you're curious, but at the same time, you are more aware. You're wiser this time around. So what do we have here as the challenge? We do have the Strength showing up as the crossing energy. This is your current influence that's either supporting you and possibly challenging your heart space at this time. So emotionally, there may even be some parts of you that feel overburdened by the weaknesses, because this strength is showing up as a challenge, and the downside of strength is self-doubt, or it can be facing our fears and maybe doubting our beautiful self, like doubting if we have what it takes to show up in a compassionate way, or doubting perhaps your own beauty, your own abilities. I feel like you are so very lovable, Taurus. You have what it takes here. When the strength shows up, you can use this as your ally. There's a message here of releasing expectations, especially the expectations that you've put on yourself. The strength energy here is reminding you that you can and will overcome any difficulty, that self-control is needed here, and you have the strength to face those fears instead of fight or flight or running from them. And some of you may have been dealing with someone's energy that felt very shadowed. All right, because the strength can be facing those shadows. And I feel like you may have wanted to heal someone. You may have wanted them to show up in their best light. And I feel like that had caused some sort of heartache here. And so, of course, naturally, our defense mechanisms are thrown up and we want to open our heart. But when the strength is crossing it, it feels like there's that hesitation. But because, as I mentioned, there's this newfound sense of maturity and awareness because of something that you've gone through, you get to cut ties with that immature version or perhaps the unhealed version, and you get to move on. You get to progress at the next level, the next phase here. So what is the subconscious influence here? Oh, the King of Swords. Ooh, we have a King of Swords and an Emperor here. Okay, so the King of Swords is in the reverse position here. I don't love the energy of the King of Swords reverse because it can mean that someone has been going through the trauma or the beliefs for so long that it's become very much a part of who they are, because this is a king, right? This is someone who should be very mature at this age or at this level of their life. I don't want to say should, there's an expectation, but for what this person has gone through, you know, being a king, it means that they have some sort of experience under their belt. But the King of Swords in reverse can be angry. They can be a poor communicator, maybe someone who is a bit hot-headed. This can be someone who has been trying to heal, but it's been difficult to do, and they have aged in the meantime. And I see this King of Swords, you know, they could even be skeptic that love is meant for them, or skeptic when it comes to shifting or changing their belief systems. And that could be why that strength is here, because someone is sitting in shadows instead of focusing here on, you know, taking a look at those shadows and loving them and saying, I honor you, shadow, for trying to keep me safe and protected. I know that you are a part of me, but I can live in the light. I owe it to myself to step into the light aspect. So perhaps this is a characteristic that you have displayed, that you have seen play out between you and another, perhaps you and a parent, because again, this can be ancestral imprints. This can even be hidden influences here, or beliefs that could be shaping how you give and receive love. So you may be taking a look at your belief system here and saying, okay, what have I learned from the past? What do I want to take with me? What do I want to cut out and leave behind? Because that's what the Six of Swords is all about. There may have been some form of manipulation, or perhaps someone may have been taking advantage of that kind, beautiful heart of yours, or it just feels like maybe children were involved, because pages can represent children. But I do see here that King of Swords has heavily influenced you, and subconsciously I feel like you are receiving signs, and you could be rebalancing your nervous system, because the nervous system is affected when that strength shows up in reverse, where we're constantly living in a state of hypervigilance. We're constantly feeling like we're walking on eggshells, or we're waiting for the other shoe to drop instead of focusing on that light aspect. The nervous system is, you know, in that mode where it's difficult to just rest and digest, where instead we're always in that fight, flight, or fawn. And so you're working on rebalancing that and evolving and healing. So I like where your head is at, but there may still be some influential factors that are coming up that could be affecting or shaping love. Now, What's going on in the past? Where have you come from? You have the Emperor showing up. So a recent event or even a dynamic that has influenced how you engage in family or emotional relationships may have to do with potentially an authority figure in your life. This could be a father. This could be someone who you were married to, or perhaps you are married to. This could be a father, as I mentioned, but I'm getting fathering oneself or showing up in a masculine energy here. I mean, this could even be you. Maybe you felt like you've had to sit in that masculine energy where you've had a difficult time allowing yourself to soften into your feminine. And I see that that's where that Page of Cups is showing up, because you want to be able to receive love. You want to be able to tend to your emotional garden instead of feeling the control or the structure or the rigidity here all the time. And I see that you may have even dated someone or connected to an emperor, but it feels like there has been some misalignments. I'm getting like misfires, okay? You know, when you get in a car and it misfires, it feels like someone could have shown you a side of them that was very shadowed, and you may be saying, okay, we got this, we can work through this together. Or it could be something you are saying, this isn't the alignment that I had thought. I fell so quickly because there was some sort of bond or connection or spark, but then there was a misfire. So let's see what your conscious awareness is telling you. You have the Three of Swords. Yeah, that King of Swords and the Three of Swords is showing up, where it just feels like you may be taking action. Maybe this Emperor here is you, and you're saying, all right, I don't want to break my own heart by staying in a situation where I feel used, where I feel manipulated, or where I don't feel appreciated or respected. The Three of Swords tells me that you are aware that something is painful. You are aware that you're not exactly where you want to be yet in matters of the heart, but when the strength shows up here, the strength can overcome and heal, anything. It can, I don't want to say heal anything, but it can be a choice that you make to show up in love, show up in compassion. So it doesn't always have to be so heavy, so painful when that strength shows up, and you're recognizing that. You are saying, all right, what do I need to organize? How can I emotionally get to a place where I don't feel so scattered? Because you see here on the Three of Swords, there's a big, beautiful desk, and the windows are open. There's a storm in the background, and it's causing the papers to fly everywhere. So mentally, you may feel a bit disheveled, disorganized here, and emotionally, there may be some pulls in all different directions. But because that Page of Cups is here, I feel like you're open to curiosity. You are open to maybe shifting a mindset there. And I see that you are leaving this behind. You're saying, okay, I recognize where this pain is coming from, or why this has showed up for me. And now that it's showing up in your conscious awareness, because sometimes that King of Swords, we don't even realize when he's in reverse. Sometimes he doesn't realize that he has been manipulated, even by his own mind trying to protect him. And I see that you recognize the pattern, and that's why you're cutting something out. So let's take a look here at the near future. What's entering your emotional life soon? A conversation, a shift, maybe a realization, or even a new relational chapter. You do have the Ten of Pentacles showing up here. The Ten of Pentacles is beautiful. However, it is in the reverse position. So when the Ten of Pentacles shows up, this could even be it can be family drama. It can be family situations that are showing up here, and you may be saying, how can I do something differently this time around? Because you may be creating a legacy. You may have children of your own, or perhaps you are maybe doing things in a non-traditional way. Now, sometimes this is the marriage energy, and when it's in reverse, it can be disconnecting from a marriage, from a union. And the Ten of Pentacles, I do feel like you have the ability to create emotional well-being instead of letting the drama or the family blockages remove you or take you away from this joy and this happiness that you deserve. That's what I'm picking up on here with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like you want to break out of the cycle. Some of you, this is ancestral healing that is taking place here. You are healing so you can break the cycle for those that come after you. Even if you are not a parent, I feel like you are able to help those around you in some way. You are creating legacy right here, right now by choosing to break out of the old patterns, the old habits, the old cycles here. There may be something around wanting to come together with a family member. All right. This could be a family member here or someone in your circle. I feel like you may have an important conversation with them. There could even be someone who's no longer in the physical. This could be someone who's crossed over, perhaps a parent. Some of you may be widowed. I feel like there could be a sign coming through from this individual who's no longer in the physical, and they may be showing up as a butterfly because you have that butterfly here. There may even be a rose that is significant, perhaps a carnation. I'm seeing the rose and the carnation showing up. Someone could receive flowers. Someone may have a pressed flower, or a specific date, as I've mentioned, could be a part of your family, your bloodline here. All right. So how are you feeling? What's going on in your heart center here? You have the Page of Pentacles. So this is another page showing up. There's a lot of inner child energy in your reading here, Taurus. The Page of Pentacles in reverse is reflecting on commitments. This could be, heavy family commitments that you have here. And when this Page of Pentacles shows up, I feel like you're considering here an additional path, but you ultimately are being guided to stay loyal to you. And even if there are other individuals, such as other family members here, that you are thinking about while you are going through this transformation, it feels like you also need to focus on your happiness, your well-being, because even if you have, let's say you have children, and you are staying in a marriage just for the sake of staying for the children, you are going to show up as unhappy. You are modeling to your children to stay in a situation for the wrong reasons, or to, you may be modeling to them what they feel love looks like. And maybe there's not emotional touch, or there's not a bond, there's not a connection. That's what I mean by legacy. So making a choice that frees you is actually going to be beneficial for the entire family. You don't want to stay for the wrong reasons. That's what I'm getting here for you. And for those of you that may be, wanting to open yourself up to love, this 10 of Pentacles in reverse tells me that you could connect with someone who may have come from a very dysfunctional family. I'm also getting here someone was adopted, or someone lived with maybe grandparents because of a unhealthy parental dynamic. Maybe even with that father energy coming through, and you may be getting to know someone on a deeper level. And the more that you get to know them, it doesn't mean that they have not done the healing work, but because that 10 of Pentacles is showing up, I definitely see some family struggles that they have endured, or perhaps they are currently enduring. There could be an ill family member. They may be focused on their family in some way, and it's causing you heartache or heartbreak because you may be witnessing this, or maybe you feel like there's nothing you can do. And the Page of Pentacles here is reminding you and that beautiful heart of yours, Taurus, to stay loyal to yourself. Now, let's take a look at the environmental influence here. How family, soulmates, partners, or even the collective energies are currently influencing you. This also shows external expectations or even behaviors that you may be responding to. You have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot energy is showing up here in reverse, which can be lack of direction. You may have a lot of influences coming in from all different angles, and that could be causing a lot of confusion, where perhaps you have a family member that is telling you one thing, and then over here you have a friend telling you another thing, and then society, of course, says that you shouldn't give up or that you should stay married for a lifetime, that you made a vow, or it could even be that beautiful heart of yours is wanting to move forward, but then there's the fear of hitting a dead end here or getting hurt again. So it feels like there's a lot going on within your emotional and even mental mind, where you feel like you are kind of spinning in circles with the Chariot. Like, should I, shouldn't I? So when the Chariot shows up here as environmental factors, this is also your emotional drive. There may be someone around you, Taurus, who's very selfish. I'm just going to put it as it is. The Chariot can be a very selfish energy in reverse and even very impulsive. Someone who makes quick, rash, emotional decisions without realizing or understanding the effects that it may have. And so I do see that someone around you may be acting out in a selfish way, or may be telling you, one thing, but behaving in another. And I see that this is an energy that you may be wanting to move away from. And if this is someone's advice, the message I'm getting is, maybe look at their life. Like, are you wanting to take advice from someone who may be going through some of their own messiness and they are not taking even their own advice? So pay attention to who you let influence you at this time. All right. Whew, this is a juicy one, Taurus. Let's look at your hopes, your fears, your wounds. This is basically your vulnerability portal, what you're wishing for, fearing, or maybe still healing in matters of love and family. You have the World. Big energy here. You have completed a cycle, or at least you want to be able to wrap this cycle up, because it's been a long one. You've been on this path for so long where you want to graduate. You want to start here a new beginning. You want to feel the sense of wholeness. Sometimes this is the marriage energy, but it can also be reminding you, Taurus, that the world is your oyster. And the fear showing up is a prolonged journey, continuing to repeat a cycle or to not receive the gratification that comes with completing a chapter of your life, because this can be delayed gratification as a fear. But the fact that it's showing up in the upright position tells me that what you are wishing for and what you are maybe still healing is learning and growing from this situation by choosing to honor your heart, choosing to keep that heart open, even though there may have been hurt, even though there may have been pain, but entering into this new cycle with this deeper wisdom that you have, because this is a very wise energy. Some of you are connecting with nature, like getting out in nature a bit more, maybe doing some hiking or climbing. I'm also getting eating more whole foods could be very beneficial for you at this time. But I feel like when it comes to your wish, you want to feel like you're in this beautiful connection with somebody, and the both of you can feel victorious together. And this is a wish I do see manifesting for you. Now, what is the outcome? What is the evolving path here? So what's blossoming? This is the potential future of your relational or emotional path. Now, it's not fixed. Tarot is not set in stone, but it is a strong current guiding you towards resolution, deeper love, or even clarity. We have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, Taurus, yes, is known as the wounded warrior. But the Nine of Wands, he is someone who he realizes that he doesn't have to do everything alone. He seeks spiritual strength. And that's why you have the strength card here, because you are overcoming these obstacles. There is a newfound sense of perseverance here and boundaries. That magic word is being highlighted for you, boundaries. And so the Nine of Wands is renewed determination through those boundaries, through the spiritual strength here, where you're going to reignite that courage within you, that compassion within you with that strength here. And it's going to allow you to open up to love again. It's going to allow you to, move into a more mature love. And I see that it is about you releasing something of the past here in some way or another, so you can have this fresh viewpoint, this fresh perspective, because that's what you desire. That's what you deserve. All right, let's get a message here from the soul's truth, your soul's truth. What is your soul trying to tell you at this time? All right, Taurus, what can you burn? All right, burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism, the images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It's time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready. Use them. There's the butterfly here, right? There's your wings. Today's soul action, Taurus. Make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? Beautiful reminder and confirmation here. That's that Three of Swords. Right? This is being brought to your conscious awareness. You already know what those lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism are, right? Because they've been running through your head. That's the King of Swords here energy as well. The reminders of what went wrong, what you did, what they did, that you're not enough. That's what you're burning. You are ready to release with strength on your side here. There's nothing that you cannot overcome. I love that message for you. And lastly, let's get a crystal spirit message from your crystal of the month at this time. If you can safely do so, Taurus, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through your nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1, and release through your mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be a crystal that you are familiar with, maybe even know the name of. Your crystal could show up as a specific shape, size, or color. Your gemstone could be giving off frequencies of unconditional love, strength, protection, or clarity. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do, Taurus, is drop whatever crystal you are seeing in your mind's eye, whether it's the shape, the size, the color, the name, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below. I'll enter you into the giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of the month and post right back here on the community tab. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. All right, we have Orange Sapphire. Number 41. Some of you may be 41 years old, or that number could hold significance. Orange sapphire is connected to the sacral chakra, Taurus. So this is about joy and sensuality, respecting your body. It is body love. Our interactions with others through technology can help us build the bonds of friendship, family, and romance. But orange sapphire spirit appears when you need to get back into your body. And I was picking up on that. Remember I mentioned get outside or get out in nature here or eat more whole foods? Connect with your body and physically so that you can express love in a tangible way. Hug someone, hold their hand, and explore the gifts of the senses with another. Listening to music together, cooking good food with each other, being in the same physical space. Ground your relationships in activities you do with each other today so that you can both be reminded of the precious gift that is the body and nourish your relationship to it. Now, another message that's coming through here is for those of you that are looking for love, you could meet someone while you are out taking care of your body. Maybe you are going on a hike, you're going to the gym, maybe you've joined a yoga class, this could be a dance class. I feel by moving the body, some form of exercise, meeting someone in the physical, this could even be a date that you have where you do hold hands, or, there is a connection over music here or food. Someone may be a very good cook. I'm getting chef. Someone could work as a chef, or they like to grill, maybe barbecue. You could be invited over for dinner. Maybe this is dinner that someone cooks, or perhaps you are cooking for them. I feel like these are activities that you both enjoy, and that could be something that you are discovering about yourself between you and another. So orange sapphire is showing up. Now, orange sapphire is very effective in stimulating that sacral chakra. It can assist those who desire to experience the sensuality in life, as well as get the creative juices flowing. This is our Kundalini energy. This is, the reproductive system. It can be our sexual organs. So this is about exploring through our world of senses by using silken fabrics, chocolate melting on the tongue, the feel of finger paints as we create on a canvas. Meditate with this crystal when you start a creative relationship or a project when you want to feel more sensual. So orange sapphire is calling out to you this month. So those creative juices are certainly flowing. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video.